This is the fourth video in the beginning programming series, and in this video we're going to run your first program. For more information, visit jb.works and enter the TMT code shown at the bottom of the screen at the search prompt. This is the first program that you're going to run in Octagon, and all it does is print hello world, which doesn't sound like much, but in doing this we're going to cover a lot of principles. And the first thing we need to do is load the program into your program editor. So the first thing we need to do is adopt the JackBord and get into the dashboard. Once there, click on the Prog tab to get to the program page. By default, the default program is in the left-hand editing area, and we need to get the Hello program code. So to do this, click on the Guide tab, and then at the search prompt at the top, type in hello and press enter. This will bring up the hello program. Click on the program, and once we get there, you'll see there's a copy code button. Click on this, and it copies all of the code of the program into the clipboard. Next, come over to the left-hand side, select the existing code and delete it, and then use the Ctrl+V or Command+V keys to paste the new code in there and save it by clicking the Save button. Now that we have the program in the editor, we want to run it. And what running a program means is, first of all, letting the JackBord or the computer load it and process it, because it needs to translate the human instructions that we've given it into the form that the computer understands. And then what it will do is go through and run each of the instructions in our program. To run the program, click on the Print tab so that we can see the results, and then come over to the left side and click on the rocket, and this will run the program. And the first thing it does is print hello world and then bye. Congratulations, you've just run your first program. So basically all the program did was print hello world and then the word bye. So now what we're going to do next is we're going to have a look at how the program worked and managed to do what it did. The program is made up of comments, tasks, commands, and statements. So if we look at the program as a whole over here, first of all we have some comments, then we have the prog start task, and inside we clear the tab and then print hello. And then we end the program by saying goodbye. So now let's look at each one of these parts in turn. The first thing we have is a multi-line comment, and that's this lump of text that you can see here. So comments let you include information in your program for a human being, because Octagon and the computer really don't care about this text. They completely ignore it. This is for human consumption. A multi-line comment is one in which you have lines of text one after the other, and they start with 3 minus characters followed by a new line, and that's what you see here. Then you have your lines of comments, and then they end with 3 minus signs on a new line by themselves. So this is how you incorporate text in your program for human consumption. Single line comments do the same job as multi-line comments, except the comment is on one line, and they start with 2 minus characters before the comment text. So looking down here, we have the 2 minus characters, and this is the text of the comment. And again, Octagon will ignore any comment lines. It doesn't care about them. It only cares about the code lines. So you use single comment lines to help human beings understand your program. Now that we've looked at comments, the next thing to do is look at tasks. Now a task is basically a collection of instructions or code. And all tasks start with a task name followed by an equals sign. Now note that the task name is all one word, you can't have spaces in it, and that there's a space after the name before the equals. The next lines will be the code that you want to have inside that task. And finally, a task ends with its task name again, followed by a full stop. And this tells Octagon that this task is finished and it's coming up with something else. There's something else to follow. The first task we have in our program is the prog_start task. Now in Octagon, you'll always find a prog_start task because this is where you put all of the things that you want your program to be to run and set up at the very beginning. In our case, the first thing we have is a comment, a single line comment, that tells us what the next command does. And the command is the pclear or pclear command. And that clears the print tab of any text that was there before. Next, we have the print statement. And what this statement does is it prints hello world, which is what our program does. So looking at the actual code, you can see you have the prog_start, followed by a space, and then the equals character. And that's the start of this task. There's the comment, the pclear command, which clears the tab, the print tab, and then the print statement. And then finally, we finish it with prog_start and then a full stop. So much like you end a sentence in English or a paragraph with a full stop, same in Octagon. Next, we come to the last task in our program, and it's the prog_stop task. Now, in an Octagon program, prog_stop is always the last task run before a program stops, and that's where you clean things up, whatever you need to do at the end of your program. So in our program, we had the comment say by, followed by print by. So all this line here is doing is printing the word by in the print tab. So the complete task is here. So you see prog_stop, followed by a space and then the equal sign. There's our comment. Here is our print statement that's printing the word by. And then finally our task ends with prog_stop and a full stop. So this is a complete task. Now that we've looked at each of the parts of the program, let's come back and look at the whole thing. So as we said earlier, we have comments, tasks, commands, and statements. So in our program, the first thing we have is a multi-line comment telling us about the program. Next, we have our first task, which is the prog_start task. And this is run at the beginning of every program. And here we have our single line comment, and we clear the print tab on this command. And then here, this print statement is what prints hello world. And then the prog_start and the full stop tells Octagon this is the end of this task. And then Octagon will naturally run and find the prog_stop task, and that starts with a comment. And then we have a print statement that prints the word by. And finally, our program ends when it reaches the prog_stop dot, which is the end of the program. So this is our program in its entirety. Now that we've got the program running, let's see what we can do next. One of the first things you can do is just change the text that's printed when it runs. The next one is add more print statements so that it will print text one line after the other, so you're printing more. And likewise for the program stop task, just try changing the text and add some more print statements to print different things. In the next video, we're going to look at a slightly more complex program. For more information, visit jb.works.